$1,000 an item. The old school procurement person would have gone, it's too expensive.
For the non-procurement nerd listeners, right, which is very few, what is advanced cost modeling, and why does it matter so much in the industry that you're working in, particularly, which is food and drink?
Of course. I mean, if you take, for example, a material, or for example, a product, an item that hypothetically cost $1,000, $1,000 a ton, $1,000 an item. The old school procurement person would have gone, it's too expensive. I'm on a 10% saving. Old school. And hey, that they might have ended up at 4%, so not 4% off 1,000. The procurement pro will do the appropriate cost model. Now, too many procurement people think that cost model is just a cost breakdown. So they take the $1,000 and they'll say what percentage is kind of the split of materials and packaging and labor. But their true pro forgets the $1,000 and goes, okay, what is the cost of the primary material? What is the yield of that material? What is the labor? What is the energy, etc., 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 and builds it up bottom up. Then they don't challenge the profit first. In fact, they do that last. They'll ask questions like, hang on a minute, that spec of material is over spec. I'll give you a great example. I was working with a fantastic company 18 months ago, buying a material. Confidential, I'm sorry, I can't say what it is, but buying material. And we looked at it and they were buying grade A material. You could see it coming up in the cost model. And yet they were crushing that item to make into something else. I'm like, why aren't you using grade A material, which are beautifully formed things, where actually you can use a grade B that still tastes delicious? And we saved a shed load of money without costing the supplier a single dollar.
Interesting. And so it's focused on the cost. If we really dumb it down, right? It's focused on the cost of the good or material rather than the holistic saving on total spend, right? It's modeling, like you said, from the bottom up rather than the top down. Is that a fair way of summarizing?
Absolutely. You've got to understand all the items, all the drivers that impact the finished price. So those are cost items. You've got to forget the $1,000 and just go, what are all the things that go to make up the cost? And usually the biggest savings come in the costs themselves. And look, occasionally one has to challenge a profit. Sometimes, no kidding you, I will actually say to the supplier, you're not making a profit. It's not long-term sustainable. If you carry on driving the client into the ground like that, they're potentially going to take a shortcut and do something silly like adulterated material, or they're not going to be in business. So that's rare. It might be 1 in 10 times, but in procurement, we shouldn't be afraid to say that.